Johnny
Cellos.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Investigation Animation. For Halloween, I've decided to investigate one of my favorite spooky cartoons, and honestly, it's one of my favorite cartoons, period. Over the Garden Wall is a gorgeous Cartoon Network miniseries created by former Adventure Time creative director Pat McHale. The 10-episode masterpiece was broadcast back in 2014, and it draws inspiration from a great number of classic films, stories, animations, and illustrations. So today we're going to look at some of the many amazing pieces of storytelling that helped influence Over the Garden Wall. Many of these influences have been revealed or confirmed by the creators of the series, but many others are merely speculative. That's just something to keep in mind. Over the Garden Wall focuses on two young brothers who find themselves lost wandering through a mysterious place called the Unknown.
Wait a second. Greg? Where are we?
The series has a few fairly obvious inspirations. It's The Wizard of Oz, it's Alice in Wonderland. It even draws from classic literature such as Dante's Inferno. All of these stories see the characters lost in a strange land attempting to find their way home. They meet other travelers who join them on their journey, and there are mysterious antagonists attempting to thwart them. The miniseries begins with a beautiful animation of a frog playing piano. This specific visual was inspired by a classic cartoon character named Flip the Frog, who was created by the legendary Ub Iwerks. If you recognize that name, it's probably because he co-created Mickey Mouse with Walt Disney. The third episode of the series, Schooltown Follies, seems to be inspired by a number of classic works. This episode features a school that's filled with cute little animals. The animals themselves resemble those found in classic Beatrix Potter children's stories. They also share similarities with the animals found in some of Richard Scarry's books, as well as his animated TV series, The Busy World of Richard Scarry. Another part of this episode shows Greg and his new animal friends running from and fending off a giant gorilla. Technically a guy in a gorilla suit. This entire sequence is incredibly similar to the classic R-Gang film Bear Shooters. R-Gang is also commonly known as the Little Rascals. See for yourself. A bit later in the episode, Greg improvises a song for his sad animal classmates called Potatoes and Molasses.
Like this?
Good enough. Oh, potatoes and molasses. If you want some, oh, just ask us. They're warm and soft like puppies in socks, filled with cream and candy rocks.
This is almost certainly a reference to the classic Shirley Temple film Curly Top, specifically the Animal Crackers in My Soup song.
Animal crackers in my soup, monkeys and rabbits loop-the-loop. Gosh, oh gee, but I have fun swallowing animals one by one.
Both songs suggest adding something to a boring type of food to make it taste better. Songs of the Dark Lantern is the fourth episode in the miniseries and was influenced by classic Cad Calloway Betty Boop cartoons. The Tavern Keeper's design and voice are both incredibly reminiscent of Betty Boop herself.
They always pick on me. They never let me be. I'm so very lonely, awfully sad,
Hoping never to let you return. Ooh, better beware. Ooh, the beast is out there.
Additionally, the Highwayman's spooky dance was directly inspired by dance sequences from the classic Cab Calloway cartoons.
I'll knock you out, let you off the road, steal your shoes from off your feet, and then highwayman, when I make it.
Folks, now here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest, frail, evil, searched this wide world over. But you never find another sweet man like me. Now when I die, bear me in my straight leg breeches. Put on a box back coat and a Stetson hat.
One of my favorite episodes in the series is Lullaby in Frogland. The frogs in this series were all partially inspired by the classic illustrations from the McLaughlin Brothers publishing firm. Pat McHale posted this image on his Tumblr, citing this specific game box art as the inspiration for Greg's frog. I wasn't able to find the full box art for this game, but I found a lot of other McLaughlin Brothers art that seemed incredibly similar to some of the frogs found in this episode.
At night, when the lake is a mirror, and the moon rides the waves to the shore, a single soul sets his voice singing, content to be slightly forlorn.
This episode also drew inspiration from a classic French short film called Frogland, which is also known as The Frogs Who Wanted a King. This short film was produced in 1922, and the puppetry that was used to bring the frogs and other creatures to life is pretty amazing. This next episode is by far one of the creepiest in the series, and fittingly seems to draw inspiration from Studio Ghibli films. The character Auntie Whispers reminds me a lot of Yubaba from Spirited Away. Additionally, she reveals that Adelaide of the Woods is her sister, and Yubaba had a sister in Spirited Away as well. I also felt that Lorna's evil spirit form could be compared to No-Face, also from Spirited Away. Episode 8 was certainly one of the strangest episodes in Over the Garden Wall, and it drew inspiration from a number of different places. The title, Babes in the Wood, was pulled directly from a classic Walt Disney silly symphony. In the episode, Greg is transported in his dreams to a place called Cloud City, and we all know what that's referencing. Just kidding. Greg's flight from his slumber up to Cloud City reminds me greatly of Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland. The sequence where Greg enters Cloud City draws clear inspiration from the classic Disney live-action animation mashup, Alice's Wonderland. The reception committee bit also seems to be inspired by The Wizard of Oz, as multiple committees welcomed Dorothy to Oz.
My name's Greg. What are yours?
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
Oh, wow, neat.
We represent the Lullaby League, the Lullaby League, the Lullaby League.
Thank you.
As mayor of the Munchkin City, in the county of the land of Oz, I welcome you most regally.
Okay, are there more?
The North Wind sequence also appears to draw inspiration from another Cab Calloway cartoon called The Old Man of the Mountain.
I say the old North Wind, yes he is. He's gonna fat, he's gonna spin, he's gonna pull back and blow a little more until you can't tell what you came here for.
Not only does the North Wind's music remind me of Cab Calloway's, but both Babes in the Wood and Old Man of the Mountain contain very similar chase sequences. And that's pretty much going to wrap up this investigation animation.
And so the story is complete, and everyone is satisfied with the ending, and so on and so forth, and yet Over the Garden Wall.
Now I know that there are probably dozens more inspirations for Over the Garden Wall, and if you know any that I missed, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Who knows, if there are enough additional inspirations, I could always make another video.
The loveliest lies of all.
Thank you all so much for watching my video on the spectacular Over the Garden Wall miniseries. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and of course, stay tuned. I've got more investigation animation episodes coming up for you.
Johnny to Cellos.